Hello, and welcome to Write Volume's Black Women History More. Write Volume's goal is to give diverse voices an outlet for expression, which we have been doing with our anthology series. I'm Janaea, editor of Write Volumes, and in order to celebrate Black women history, we decided to give people a Black woman history present. Here's a quick peek at the impact of Black women writers in the past, present, and future in 3 questions. To help with this, I'm here with Fannie Price, a contributor to Write Volumes and author of 2 books in the Cambion Rider Chronicles. Welcome, Fannie.
Hi, Janaea. How are you?
I am fine, especially because I'm here with you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this.
Wonderful. I am too. So the first question is, did any Black women writers influence you in your writing?
So there are a few that did, but 2 are probably the ones that had the most influence. And the first one, of course, is the fabulous Octavia Butler. She was one of, if not the first Black female sci-fi author, which is a little different than my genre, urban fantasy, but still sci-fi it's amazing. Her writing is amazing. And if this is someone that you guys are just coming into, then please go read her. The second is L.A. Banks, who is a Black female author who was in the same genre as me, urban fantasy. And she influenced me by the way that I wrote before that, but I never really thought of publishing my writing until I saw one of her books and saw someone who looked like myself on the cover. And it was one of those, if she can do it, I can do it too. So that's really what kind of got me into let's publish this and not just write for myself and my family and friends.
And I'm so happy that you are publishing.
Thank you.
The next question is, what does it mean to be a Black woman writer?
So it's actually a lot of responsibility. I think it's important that our history is out there. So I think it's important from the nonfiction standpoint to get our history out there, because as Black women, it's so diverse. Our triumphs and our struggles, and there's just so many of us from different cultures, different countries. So I think it's really important. But I also think it's equally important to showcase Black female fiction writers, because the world sometimes is stressful enough where you need to kind of escape. And that's where some of the Black fiction comes in. And I think it's very important that we see our voices and see ourselves, hear our voices and see ourselves in those genres that typically are not, primarily for people of color, not just Black women, but women in general, and different, transgender, the LGBTQ community, the romance, the thrillers, the urban fantasy, the science fiction. I think it's very important that we see ourselves and have that fiction that represents us. So that's one of the things that I love about your anthologies is there's so many voices from all over, so many different cultures where we get to see that. And I think it's really important that people have that experience to see this is what a story looks like from a Black female point of view, regardless of what it is.
Yes, I agree. It's so important to have that in there. And the last question is, how would you like your writing to influence future generations?
So I don't see myself as a role model or influencer. I just write what I love, and I hope that other people enjoy it as well. But there's kind of 2 avenues that I'd love to see in the future. So the first one is that I would love for there to be a young Black woman or Black teenager that, like myself, she's looking in Barnes and Nobles or she's online and she's shopping for that next novel that she's going to devour. And she sees herself and she says, maybe I can do that. Because it makes me think of Octavia Butler's comment of when someone asked her, why are there not any Black science fiction writers? And her reply was, there aren't any because there aren't any. It's so important, for us to see ourselves in our writing. And it's just, you don't see it that much. So if I could be some, little Black girl's inspiration to follow her dream of writing, I think that would be awesome. I don't expect it, but I think it would be awesome. The second is I would love for us to get to the point, and I don't think this is going to happen in my generation or the next generation, for there to not be Black female authors or Chinese authors, or just everyone is an author. There's not women author, there's not men authors. There's just writers. I do think it's important that we have different voices, because everyone comes to things differently, and there's different cultures, and there's different identities, and there's different experiences that pour in. So I think that having that diversity is very important, but I also think that there's something valid in not having that delineation of race and gender, and everything that goes with it. And it's just great writers that are out there. That's not to say that I'm not proud to be a Black female author. I don't know if my writing would be as good. I draw a lot of, my inspiration on my past, excuse me, and I think that's what makes some of my writing really interesting. And I would not want to change that for the world. But I think it would say something about our community and the world that we live in when there's not a distinction anymore, and it's just writers are writers.
Let's hope someday in the future.
Like I said, it's not going to happen in our generation, and right, even the next one. This is like a future. We're living on Mars or some other planet.
Exactly. Well, Fannie, your writing breathes life to a strong female lead with emotional depth and the drive to follow her dreams, which is amazing. And it's awesome to have a positive supernatural role model of color and
Thank
female. Sci-fi has so many colors to it, yet Black and woman seem to be lacking, and you help fill that void. So I am looking forward to more of your writing, and please just keep writing.
And thank you for letting me being one of my platforms to get my short stories out there. That is just amazing. And I feel like I've accomplished so much just by being able to work with you and your publishing. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Really, it's my honor. So thank you for sharing, Fannie. This has been a Write Volumes Black Women History More. We hope you enjoyed this Black Women History present and share it with others. Please visit FanniePriceNovels.net and check out her riveting books on sale on Amazon. And feel free to follow Write Volumes on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or sign up for our email list on our website, www.writevolumes.com. Thank you. Thank you.